G'day aspiring engineers. Now this video is going to be about the Curvature Map tool in Autodesk Fusion. You can find that on the Inspect menu. Now most of you are hobbyists, and so I'm going to demonstrate this tool using one of my own hobby projects, that is about ceramics. So this one is a vase shape. It's going to be eventually a slip casting mold making project, but here today we're just going to demonstrate the development of the surface and the surface quality and some of the really neat tools in Fusion which can really help in making that surface like an A-class finish. Now there's a theory topic for you: Class A, Class B, Class C surface finishes, and you're usually only worried about that, well, you might think you might only be worried about that in automotive design. Well, it just so happens that I've done a little bit of a video here about a question that I asked Google Gemini, and here's the prompt, and the results that I got were pretty good. One topic of that was the class of finish, and the other one was G2 and G3 curvature, and this is actually very well done. Quite a good definition of these two topics. Right, now let's get into this. Here's the shape of a vase that I designed in Autodesk Fusion, and you can see that I'm just turning on and off the curvature comb, and these are the zebra stripes. Now those do come in handy, but I'm just showing you those. These are a couple of ways that I tend to look at the exterior surface of something that's where the shape does matter a lot. And you can see that there's two bodies here. One is the filling reservoir at the top of a slip casting mold, and here you can see that I'm editing the fit point spline, and just to show you that it's really very finely controllable, and you can really dial the curves in and adjust them very finely. But that's enough of that. We're not going to go into that today. I'll just undo that, get back to the revolved extrusion that I made out of that, and we're going to apply we've looked at the curvature combs, we've looked at the zebra stripes. There's the combs again, and we can zoom right up on those. I'm not going to talk very much about those, just to show you that they're there and that they were useful in this particular project. Zebra stripes, and this is where you want to turn that model around a little bit and see the way that those stripes flow over the surface, and they can highlight irregularities and places where the curvature is not following smoothly, and this is where we get into that G2 and G3 curvature. Anyway, sixth one down on the Inspect menu. This is the Curvature Map Analysis. There's three different kinds here. The first one we're looking at here is the Gaussian blur. And basically what happens here is, and we'll adjust the setting in a minute here, we get that slider, move that sideways. Now what happens here is where you've got the cool colors, that's the purple and blue, that's where you've got a convex shape, and warmer colors are got that back to front, didn't I? Convex for outside shapes, outside curves, and concave for inside curves. Now this one is for minimum curvature. And so where that shape has got relatively flat curves, this is the red part. When we swap that over, where we got relatively flat curves, it turns green, and we're looking at the higher, the higher curvature areas are turned red. And of course you can slide that thing to minimum and maximum and get more or less of it. And so that's the point of the curvature map analysis. We'll do another video later on when I'm doing the actual mold making of these parts, but that'll be another topic altogether. Now you might think that these surfacing tools are only good for automotive design, but I can think of a few others. So if you're making a boat hull, and that might be a radio controlled model, it could be a full-size boat, surfboard design, radio controlled aeroplane fuselages and wings, musical instruments, anything where there's some surfacing that is going to be, plainly visible to the user's eyes. And if you're interested, you can have a look at a couple of newsletters where I've touched on a few of these other tools, which I'm showing here. and those are linked in the description down below. And that's it for today. I'll see you later.